Hi everyone, welcome to Beyond Ballin with LaLa. I'm LaLa and this is Beyond Ballin. I'm gonna tag my name. So first off, I just want to say congratulations to everyone who graduated. As you guys can see, I'm behind my amazing graduation decorations that my family members put together for me. I know graduation wasn't ideal, but we all made the best of it. So we have a very special guest today. We have GiGi Smith. She's an ex-University of North Carolina Williamson women's basketball player. We're waiting. Okay. So while we're waiting, where's everybody from? Drop your city, your state, your county, wherever you're from. I just want to know where our guests are from. So I'm going to give you guys a little background information on GiGi while she's showing up in here. Oh, I see her right now. So GiGi, I was just telling everyone about your amazing statistics this past season. This past season, you were fourth in the conference in minutes played. So you played 34 minutes a game, which is in a 40-minute game. That's outstanding. You led your team and you ranked 8th in the CAA, averaging 14.3 points a game. Another amazing statistic. So everyone, welcome GiGi to our page and to the show. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, you look so beautiful.
Thank you, girl.
Aw. So, can you just tell our viewers how you've been holding up during this social distancing time, what you've been up to?
It's been okay. I personally don't like the quarantine and I like to be out with friends and things like that, but it's been cool.
Yeah.
Working out here and there, and I got a job now. I was telling people, so
Yes.
been my whole spiel over the quarantine.
Yes. So I'm going to jump right into the interview because I know everyone is dying to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
So the first question I have is, when did you actually start playing basketball?
I started when I was 3. So, like, my mom was putting me in different things, and I kind of started out when I was 3. But I started really taking it a little bit more serious when I got around the age 5.
Nice. That's so young. 3.
Very, very.
So you basically like out the woo is what you would say, right?
Out of it, yes.
Really. So growing up, did you know that you wanted to play in the WNBA, or did you just know that you wanted to play in college, or just at that moment? What was your thought process?
So, I feel like growing up was a different background than usual for female basketball players.
Definitely.
I think back in the day, like back in time, most females really, there was no options of WNBA or even college, you know what I mean? So even grow up and hear about the idea of going on to college and going on to professional, sometimes like, okay, is that even possible? But then when you start doing it, it's like, oh my goodness, it is. Like when I started getting offers, I'm like, I'm really a kid that can go play D1, that can go play D2, whatever division it is. And I mean, it's like surreal to you because at one moment you're like 6 years old, you're just playing AAU, and then the next you're 17 getting ready to go to college.
Definitely. So if you could choose one WNBA basketball team to play on, what team would that be and why?
Well, I've been a fan of Minnesota Lynx.
Okay.
I don't know what got me hooked to them, but this was even from when I was younger. I've always liked Minnesota Lynx, and one of my favorite players is Simone Augustus.
Nice.
And I've always loved watching her play and seeing her play for Lynx. And then, all the other players that joined them, Maya Moore, Sylvia Fowles, Rebecca Brunson. I love Rebecca Brunson too.
Yeah, shout out to Rebecca.
Lindsay Whalen, all of them. I just like the way that they play together. In my mind, if I had to think of it, they're kind of like the Golden Warriors at one point.
Ooh.
I love the idea of team and being part of it and figuring out ways to like get together.
Definitely. And I could totally see you fitting. I mean, Okay, like let's speak forward thinking. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like you really fit into that system, so that's really amazing that that's your favorite team.
Hold up.
Mention it,
I guess I'll have to get used to that.
right? So, do you plan to play overseas?
I do. You know, I'm very open. I'm a very open person. So a lot of people know that I've been like in the mix about playing overseas and continuing because one thing about me, I have become content with not, you know, playing after college because, you know, I gave everything I had in college, in high school, in the AU. But for me, I'm a very family oriented person. So for me to just go hours away, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do it for so long.
Yeah.
I've been talking to a lot of my friends, a lot of close people that have done overseas, you know. I do think it makes more sense to at least explore 1 year to see if it's something that I can do again.
Definitely.
And at least I have experience to say I did it, you know.
Definitely. I think that's really important.
And,
Just give it your best shot. So, if you could choose where you would end up, where would you want to go?
Australia.
Ooh, down under. Okay.
Australia. I think that would be very fun for me because I actually I had a friend that played. Well, she didn't play ODU. I was her host, and she was from Australia.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh my gosh, I've always thought about Australia. Her accent was just so pretty and everything, and I learned a lot from her when she was there for her 3 days and her visit. And I was like, okay, Australia is definitely a place I would want to play in.
No, I could definitely see that. When I was at University of Buffalo, one of our assistant coaches was Australian, so she recruited a lot of Australian players.
Right.
And out of my senior class that year, I think like 4 of them out of the 5 of them were Australian. And one thing I have to say is like, you know, their humor is a little different than ours. You know, like they're a lot more like blunt, I would say. And so like you think Americans are blunt, but they're blunt.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can hold your own, so you be good.
Right.
But yes, you be good.
Different kind of blunt. So
Exactly, like a different culture. You know what I mean? How like everyone jokes differently. Definitely cool. So, who were your mentors growing up? Like, who kind of introduced you to the game and helped you the most, would you say, throughout your career?
well, to start getting into it, my mom into it. My mom put me into the game. Growing up, I actually wasn't that good. So my first rec league coach, his name was Dominic. He plays a huge part. I started off with him, and then went to AU, which was Coach Jonathan, Coach Morris. They were some really huge contributors, and then coaches. So everything's kind of been really within AAU in high school. What started me off. And well, really what kept me going, of course, rec league started off and then got into AU, but I was actually one of the only girls that played on the all boys team for rec. So that was like kind of really what got me aggressive and into it and very passionate about basketball.
How was that? Because I never had that experience. I mean, I did Boys and Girls Club, but even at a young age, we were definitely divided, boys and girls. So how was that? How was that energy just playing with men?
Yeah,
it boys.
Definitely different. I mean, personally, I know they say that most sports are for men.
Yeah.
But at a young age, playing on an all boys team, it teaches you to be tougher and stronger, and very more like mental with the game and mental with your body. Because a lot of people are saying that you can't play this sport with fellow guys, but I did, and I mean it was an aggressive game. And some of the teams felt like they couldn't take me serious, and some of the teams felt like they could. But I feel like it's just all how comfortable you are with what you have inside of your body, what you have in your mind, how you produce, how you product. So I think it was really experiencing because I'm actually still really good friends with all of the guys that were on my team.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So they all grew up to play, and that's really good.
Yeah, some of them grew up to play. Some of them grew up and just went to college. Some of us just graduated from college.
Wow.
So that's huge. Seeing everyone in the picture do big things. One of them in the picture is actually in the NFL now.
Wow.
So that's pretty huge. Them have kids and have a good life and everything. So it's crazy seeing how each of our paths are like so different, but yet we still find a way to be all around each other.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think it just emphasizes the point that this amazing sport can take you so many places. You can meet so many different people, and it's honestly so beautiful. So what other career paths have you thought about other than being a professional basketball player?
Well, I love to talk. You
Okay.
know, I do love to talk. I'm
Yeah.
very, I mean, like really, really open. So I think I really like helping people. That's really more of like what I've always done from the time that I can understand right from wrong. I love to help people. So
Definitely.
I don't know if that's going to lead me down into a counselor or someone that just gives really good advice. I have no idea
Yeah.
if it'll lead to anything that involve just being someone's like mentor outside of this. It could be like someone that's a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Before I believed in being motivational and speaking, I always thought it was like silly because people look at you like, oh, she's just talking. And
Yeah.
kind of, a lot of people think things are funny. So sometimes I used to hold
Mhm.
back a lot of things that I like. But as I got older, I started becoming more confident in what I like and what I do because I get good results from people. I'm always there when someone needs help talking. I mean, I don't know all the answers, but I have a lot of experience with just trying to be very understanding as much as I can. So that's just been like the really biggest thing. Just anything that involves helping or communicating with people. And I do love kids. So I don't
Definitely.
know if I could be a teacher or anything of that sort. So
Yeah. Well, my mom's a guidance counselor, so if you want to help kids specifically, I feel like that would be a great career
yeah,
path. They love her, and
I,
just the amount of energy you can put in other people and actually see it return to you is very gratifying. I feel like.
someone that takes really good care to kids and helping them at such a young age because sometimes we're not all blessed with fortunate parents and we're not blessed with someone that can provide. A lot of kids sometimes aren't given that opportunity like every other child. So out more in that type of community, in that type of field is what's really important to me because it just lets kids know that you're not the only child that's going through it, that's been through,
Mhm.
and it's still a way to prevail through that because some kids when they grow up to that older age they feel like, okay, at this point I wasn't given this, I didn't have this opportunity, I wasn't given this or that child was received, so at this point why should I keep going, why should I care? And a lot of people feel like at some point in their life if they had that right guidance, if they had the right help, the right means, resources, that things would be different. Not saying be rich, but to be
Yeah.
to have help when you can't get help yourself, I feel
Yes.
like that's very, very important.
Yes, and I think that's very admirable that you even want to be one of those people, that just like how when I asked you who your mentors were, you could potentially be that for somebody else. You know what I
Right,
mean? That they
right.
look down later in life and say, this person truly changed me. That's beautiful. So, shifting gears a little bit, did you play any other sports other than basketball growing up?
I did track in middle school, and whether anyone believes it or not, I was a cheerleader. Okay, I'm
I
very
believe it.
so that was like something I loved to do in middle school. Once I got to high school, it was like choose, you can't do both. So
Yeah.
I did cheerleading, I did track, and I did tennis my senior year of high
Okay.
school. I tried to do softball before I quit, like same time. So
Yeah.
that's just not for me. I was like, okay, it's too much dirtiness. I'm not.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. I can see that. So, what made you actually fall in love with basketball and just choose, okay, this
Uh,
is what I truly want to do with my life?
with my mom throwing me into basketball at such a young age and then
Yes.
transforming from, rec to AAU, I actually was not really good. You know what I mean? Like I didn't
Mhm.
have the talent that some of my other teammates had.
Yeah.
She really pushed me into working out. Like she kept me working out every day with a trainer and I kept going, kept going. But one thing that I think that helped me the most was like my work ethic. Like
Yes.
even though I knew I was young, like okay, I'm playing a sport, I'm doing this, but I had a really high work ethic. And I think that made me fall in love with the sport because I had no problem with wanting to go work out. Now, don't get me wrong, I was tired majority
Yeah.
of the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I really have to go? But when I look back on it,
Yeah.
it didn't push me that way.
Hmm.
I don't know if I would be an athletic, you know, I don't even know if I would be athletic at all. If I would be in any sports, I probably would have just been a cheerleader and went to college, which is
Yeah.
also fine. But I do love that she pushed me that hard because it gave me what I wanted. I love the satisfaction of going to workouts and getting better. And, you know, with that happening, you know, I started getting ahead of a lot of other people that were way ahead of me. And
Yeah.
it was mind-boggling because it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't born with like this crazy talent. Like I had to really, really put in a lot of work to
Yeah.
gain my talent, my skill, you know, all of that. So to see that it paid off and got me to college, I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, now can I do it again and can I keep it going? Or even if I don't play again, can I use what I've learned and the that I have? Can I touch other people that's out there? You
Yeah.
know, that's really the it really made me fall in love because regardless of what it is, the the basketball gives me so many relationships with a lot of people.
Definitely.
I mean, for instance, like me and you, like
Yes.
we have never met each other in person, but because we have social media and we have the sport that we play,
Yeah.
we had something in common and we were understanding and we became friends. Like I have so many friends simply from orange basketball.
Definitely.
It's amazing because you never know the bonds that you can form.
Never. And I just want to harp on that so much because sometimes people don't realize like the connections that you make just from, you know, having this common love for the sport is so deep. And I feel like they honestly last a lifetime, you know, which is
It is.
beautiful.
So many friends, you know, because even when you're playing against another team and you like, dang, I don't like that girl or something.
Yeah.
And outside of playing the game, and you're like, oh my goodness, I really like this person. Like, that's majority of how all of my friendships have been. And actually pretty amazing when it goes that way.
It's truly amazing. So, since you talked about your work ethic a little bit, can you describe your playing style?
I believe my playing style is very high IQ'd. I'm like that, you know, I'm just gonna take what you give me. If I see it there, I'm gonna go for it. You know, you could have a game plan to, you know, force me left, but if I see that you gave me my right, I'm gonna go to my right. I'm not gonna do all this craziness and try to get to left. Okay, you know what? You done gave me my right. Let me just go ahead and take it. But I really take advantage on whatever the defender gives me, and I try to capitalize as much as I can. And I also taught myself that moving without the basketball is extremely important. So try to move as much as I can, get inside for rebounds, back doors, however it is, you know, trying to get the ball because it isn't just easy to just pop out on the wing and say, okay, hey, I'm open. Or, you know, if you ever had like, you know, be face guarded or anything like that, it's like, all right, now you got to work 10 times harder.
Definitely.
So I try to figure out that throughout practice, workouts, however I could.
Nice. So what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to build that IQ? Like, yes, they know the game, but they maybe don't know what to do in certain scenarios.
I will definitely tell everyone my biggest advice is if you're not 100% committed, then this is not what you want. Never been something that I've completed or done that I wasn't 100% committed to.
Yeah.
Because I was 100% committed to getting better and wanting to be better, it made me better. It built a lot of areas in my game and in life itself to make me better. When you're, you know, kind of basically just playing it and not really caring, you're not showing that you want to do this, that you really want to do something and improve on something.
Yes.
So if you're going to tell me that you're 80% committed, then you don't want this. You don't want to be better. And that's just how I look at a lot of things. If you're not going to be all the way in with it, then just don't do it because you don't know who you're going to involve. You don't know who's going to be to help you out, and you let them down, and you let them down. You let yourself down by yourself, not letting other people down with you.
I agree. So I know you transferred from ODU after your sophomore year.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to an athlete who's in a similar position as you were, where they want to transfer, but they're nervous about starting over, having to learn an entirely new system, you know, all that comes with the transferring process?
I'm definitely going to tell you transferring is not bad. You know, it's not a, oh my goodness, you know, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Like a lot of people, what people don't understand is my freshman year at Old Dominion, half of that season, I didn't even make it off the bench. My warm up shirt never came off, you know? And instead of me like being upset and going to everyone and say, you know what, I should be playing, I'm just going to transfer to the, you know, I said, let me look in the mirror. Let me see what I'm not doing on my end. Let me stay out the practice a little bit. Let me come in for some extra workouts.
Yeah.
You know, when it came up to me transferring, it was more of about knowing what fits me best. And at some point in time, you may think something has fitting you in the moment.
Yeah.
But then you realize a little bit like, okay, this isn't really fitting me. I need something better. And necessarily transferring doesn't mean I go to a Power 5 school. It just means I go to a school that really can assist my needs, what I need in the environment, what I need around me, what I need for people to understand me, what kind of relationships I want to build, what kind of administration, you know, that I'm working with. And that was more of important for me when I transferred.
Definitely. And I totally agree with that because I transferred after my freshman year, and I feel as though transferring, especially in the women's game, has a negative stigma to it that I feel like needs to change because, like you said, transferring is not bad. Ultimately, you got to do what's best for you, and you know you more than anybody else. So I completely agree. But what was the biggest deciding factor that actually made you want to transfer specifically?
The biggest factor for me was I wanted to play with players that had a basketball mentality.
Ooh.
Excuse me. I feel like I'm fit.
Okay.
But no coronavirus, y'all. But that was more of my focus. Like, I wanted to really play with people that felt like, you know, I'm not half in. I felt like there are times that I'm all the way in, but if I hear, you know, a certain teammate saying this and saying that, it's like, all right, you know, now I'm kind of starting to doubt myself in the team. So that was really more of my focus of transferring. That was like the factor.
I love it. So obviously it happens for a reason, and it seemed to have been amazing for you because I know, like you told me, that you were the mid-major player of the week, which is a huge deal. Can you just take us back to that moment when you found out? How did that feel, just knowing that all your work has came to this moment?
You know, it's so funny because I used to pray all the time to get the accolades of my conference player of the week, you know. I used to pray for that all the time. I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, can I get player of the week? Can I get player of the week? And I was just, you know, in my room, just laying down, doing whatever. And my teammate, Timber, she's like one of my closest friends, goes, hey, she sends me a text. She was like, congratulations, you got college player, you know, mid-major of the week. And I'm like, come again? Did I really just get this? Like, are you sure? And I was like, oh, okay, so is this for the conference? She said, girl, no, this is like nationally, like college. I said, stop playing. Are you serious? When I tell you that what you pray for, God always doubles. Like, and I didn't even, I didn't understand how I got it, what made me get it. I was like, what? Like, I was really shocked because I could always pray that I can get player of the week just one time in my conference.
Yeah.
Looked up and God gave me something twice that. I said, I don't even know what I did to deserve this, but thank you. I was shocked. I didn't even know. She just sent it to me and I was like, what? How did you find this? So it's still crazy thinking about that.
Yeah, and it's so amazing. You know, for those of you guys who don't know, the mid-major player of the week is, like you said, a national award, and it's all the mid-major conferences, regardless of schools. So it's way bigger than just one conference, and it's a huge award. So I congratulate you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you got tons, but it's definitely huge, girl. So what was the deciding factor that actually made you want to transfer specifically to UNCW?
I took the visit there. Now, for everyone who knows, that is my same coach that I had at Old Dominion. Before I left to UNCW, I had already put in my papers to transfer. I did this without talking to anybody. I just put in my papers.
Wow.
You know, a couple weeks later, she called. She's like, okay, you know, I have this job here or whatever. Will you come with me? And I'm like, you know what? Let me just look at all my options again. You know, let me really go through this again.
Yeah.
make sure, you know, because this is a school I want to leave off of. Get out of the camera, Joshua. Stop. Stop. Um, so that was my biggest focus. And, you know, I went down there, I took a visit and, you know, the regular official visit, how everyone's doing everything. And we were on the beach and, you know, she was like, okay, you know, you should come out to the beach with us. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm not going to get in the water, but, you know, I'll, you know, walk on it. And as I get on the beach, she kind of had like this, she like drew in the sand and it's like UNCW women's basketball, GiGi, put my number, art around it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I committed right there in the moment. I was like, oh, this is where I'm going to go.
Yes, that's beautiful. And that's a beautiful story. Just going the extra mile, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing it all the way back to when you found out that the season was cut short due to coronavirus. So where were you and how did you feel in that moment when you found out my college basketball life is officially over?
I hope no one ever has to experience what the seniors had to go through. We had just played a conference tournament game, the day before, and you know, the next day we're getting ready to play Drexel women's basketball team. Now, for everyone who even knows who they are, everyone in our conference, we do not like Drexel. Okay, I lost to them twice. By first time we lost to them in overtime. The second time we lost to them, we could have been in overtime, but we didn't get it, so we lost by 2. So this game was like really important to us. It was like, okay, you know what? This is really, really it right here. And, you know, C wasn't ready to go home.
Yeah.
We were warming up. The game was supposed to be 12 o'clock. We were warming up. We were doing what we normally do. And they all pulled us to the locker room. And, you know, the CAA comes in there and they just goes, I'm sorry to inform you guys, you know, we have to cancel your tournament. Wow. And at first, you know, I was kind of sitting there like, you know, this is just crazy. But then it's like, no, this is real. It's real. And in that moment, I cried. Like, I couldn't even believe it because it's like, this isn't how I imagined my senior season to even be. It was just unbelievable because it was like, all right, you know, you do all this, you play in our conference, you get ready, like this is really it for you, and it got canceled. Yeah. So we're just all like, oh my goodness. Even now, it's still crazy that that's how we ended. But you know, it's nothing we can do about it. It's just something kind of got to heal from and learn from. But I know a lot of us in the conference aren't going to get over it because that was, you know, some of us, that was our last game that got to play that day, and other teams in the conference didn't even get to play yet. And that's their senior season without even playing a conference tournament game at all. Yeah. So I just hope no one ever has to experience something like that because it's truly heartbreaking. Definitely.
And I feel like you just spoke for all of the seniors, every sport. I mean, I think of lacrosse.
Right.
They didn't even get to start their season.
Right.
I mean, NCAA is talking about them doing it over, but then it's like, you know, do you want to come back, not be with your same people? It's just all messed up, but everything happens for a reason. Ultimately, we are in a pandemic and people are dying. You know, that's what I just got to keep reminding myself. It's like, it's bigger than just this. It's bigger than me and my feelings. So what sacrifices have you made in order to play basketball at the level that you've gotten to thus far?
I've made a lot of sacrifices. Growing up, most teenagers go to a lot of parties and have fun and things like that. Yeah. My mom wasn't strict. She just knew that, you know, sometimes it's not good to always be out and do things in that sort of nature. So I didn't really get to do a lot of those things that a lot of the kids, you know, the teenagers got to do. Yeah. And I definitely was okay with that because at the end of the day, I chose to be all in with this sport. Sometimes it got a little, you know, a little sad because it's like, all right, I want to take a break and really have fun and go do this, do that. I wanted to be like my brother. You know, my brother got to do a lot of things and I wanted to kind of. But then I realized that I kind of made this commitment, so I got to stick with it. Yes. That was really the biggest thing that I can do. I think one of the biggest sacrifice that I made was that I couldn't go to my grandfather's funeral. Wow. And that was really huge for me because I love my grandfather. I even have him tatted on me. and I couldn't make it to his funeral. I believe I had a tournament or something. It was just really sad. It was like, okay, I'm missing this, I'm missing that. So the tattoo definitely represents of me being able to be with him at all times. So being that I couldn't be there for that moment.
Wow. And I think so many people forget that although this is an amazing sport, and yes, you know, we got scholarships, so we don't have to pay for college, but
Right.
ultimately you do give up a lot of things. And I think you said that beautifully, the amount of things that you've had to give up. And that's just a piece of it, you know, obviously.
Peace, yeah. That's definitely true.
Definitely. So are you able to find time to work out during quarantine?
Yes.
Yes.
All
So
the
what kind of workouts are you doing?
So I actually come up with them on my own.
Ooh, okay.
Majority, that's what I've done. But my teammate has actually just sent me a workout that she's doing. It's a 30-day challenge.
Nice.
When to complete a certain amount of the exercise she has up there within 30 days. So I think I'm going to take that task on myself.
Awesome. So before the pandemic happened, was there any specific project that you were working on or anything that you were doing that had to halt other than basketball, obviously?
Um, the biggest project I only was kind of working on was trying to like piece all my years together of
Mm.
high school and college and even a little younger for playing basketball and things like that. And we were trying to do it as a team together because we were all seniors. But with the whole pandemic coming and not being able to spend that like last little bit of semester in school and finishing it all together, it was a little hard. So we all kind of had to stop. I think that was going to be very like special for us because I wanted to do something for the seniors myself, and some of us want to do stuff for each other. So that just really had to be on pause because you know we're all in different areas right now.
Definitely. Well, hopefully we can all get together again once it's safe.
I
So
know.
you'll be able to complete that. Fingers crossed. So what's one goal that you have for 2020?
One goal that I have for 2020, I definitely would say, what would my goal be? Honestly, I think the goal for me is to be able to sign a contract overseas.
Nice.
That is going very crazy right now. It's hard even realizing if we're gonna have a season or not. I mean, kudos to the NCAA because they did just let athletes know that they could come back starting June 1st. So that's a step.
Definitely.
Hoping that something will come through within these next couple of weeks. But that's one of my biggest goals, being able to sign my first contract.
I think it's going to happen for you. We're manifesting it, okay?
Right.
So I want to congratulate you again on something else. You graduated, which is super huge. Yes, that's super awesome. So how do you feel now that you officially graduated?
I feel
Has
free.
it hit you yet?
Yes, it's
Nice.
hit. I feel free.
Nice.
It's so good to wake up and not have to do work and go to class and all of this craziness. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm really done with college. I mean, it's super sad too though, because it's like I'm like half a step closer to being in the real world, and it's like, oh, I'm a little nervous, but I'm more excited than I ever could be. So college definitely made me very happy.
Nice. So I saw on your Instagram story that you posted you got your first real job, and you just mentioned the real world. So can you tell us a little bit more about that, where you're working, and how that's going for you thus far?
So I'm working at Home Depot.
Nice.
I actually love it. It's really nice. I work like between 32 to 40 hours a week.
Okay.
Really working, like having a real job, waking up. I definitely can tell you I was not ready because these lunch breaks are going by super fast. Looking like, dang, I just clocked out for lunch. I got to clock right back in.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. I like that I'm stepping more into the real, because what people don't understand as an athlete, that's all you are when you college. Now, don't get me wrong, you can have a job and however it is, but typically playing Division I and trying to have a job and doing classes, it's just it mix well. Like you can have some of the best time management, but I'm telling you, all that will be ripped out the way when you go to is definitely different. So being able to go through this whole process of actually having a real job, actually making my own money and not relying on getting paid from the school is kind of feeling, and it's a step, it's not where I'm going to end it, but it's definitely a stepping stone to help me understand the real world.
Definitely. And I feel like that's so important why this series was started, you know, to ultimately explain that there's so much life beyond
Right.
whatever athlete is doing, you know, whatever sport they're doing, you know, because like you said, so many people just see us as
Right.
athletes and that's it. And oftentimes we only see ourselves as that for a period of our lives, which is just real. So what do you believe your calling is? Kind of deep.
Yeah, diving deep, diving deep. Honestly, my calling, I really just feel like I'm the type of person that I'm gonna put whoever first before me. I've always been that way. Don't get me wrong, I have some times where I can be a little selfish, but majority of the time I'm always trying to put someone first. I'm helping out if I can, giving whatever I can, if it's my last, if I have to donate the clothes right off my back. I really believe my calling is to help the person next to me, the person before me, the person after me. That I truly enjoy that. I think it's pure and it's fun. I know with that and most of the jobs that deals with helping other people, it isn't paid well, but I've always if you're loving what you do, then that's all that matters. I definitely want to do something that I love. I don't want to do something because it gives me money. I want to do it because I love it.
Beautiful. So I know we're getting deep. We're going to get a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So what's one obstacle that you had to overcome and how did you do it?
Honestly, the biggest obstacle I had to face was this year during the season. It was right after the first weekend of playing conference. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. I took a hiatus, and I just at that moment when I took the hiatus, it was it was it was kind of a dark place for me because I was hating everything around me. Basketball, just being a part of it, touching it, coming to practice, coming to workouts. I mean, it was a crazy couple of weeks, and to me, it was the hardest obstacle to overcome because at that moment, I felt like I was kind of by myself. Like, it's one thing to talk about it, but I still felt like I was by myself. So when I overcame it, and it's people, there's a couple major people that definitely helped me with that overcoming the obstacle, but it was really, really hard because never in my life did I think there would be a moment that me and basketball wouldn't get along.
Wow.
And it was in that we didn't, and I wasn't used to that. Yeah. So it took me some really understand that I can't let other factors make me change the love I have for the game. And so overcame it. It was like, all right, I've been so confident since then, and I haven't fell back out of that confidence.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So who is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration?
Yeah.
I have 3.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, that would be my mom,
nice,
my brother, and my nephew.
Beautiful.
I love them 3 to pieces.
Yeah.
I don't know who I love more, but I love all 3 of them a lot. My nephew, so pure. I mean, he doesn't have not one mean bone in his body, like literally nothing. He's just so pure. My brother is the same exact way.
Wow.
And I just really love them so much because it's just crazy to see that in person. And my mom, she's rowdy. She's funny. She's energetic and everything. And I've always seen her do as much as she can for me and the family. So they're like the biggest 3 inspirations. I learned from them a lot in some of the most littlest things that they do.
Wow, that's so touching. So how do you balance your life staying girly while playing a male-dominated sport?
Well, I always keep my hair slayed.
Okay.
That was one thing my mama always taught me. She said, well, before you leave the house, you got to have your hair done and you got to have some earrings on. I've been slacking on the earrings lately, though. Yeah. But I've always felt like our sport is a little bit judged. Definitely. Because a lot of men feel like we don't have on less clothes while we're playing the sport. And that we're built strong and we're built like you know, real heavy set and we have a nice, well put together body. But, you know, we do what men do. We live, we run, we work out, we play basketball. I mean, we do everything that they do. And I don't see what's the difference. Yeah. So being girly, for me, I've always been very girly. And I think with this sport, it's just more of guys feeling like, well, you know what? They play like dudes anyway. Why should we watch them? It's not really about that. It's really just about supporting, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to support, whether we play like men, whether some females decide to dress like men, however they decide to be. And you should support it just as much as anyone else supports you.
I agree. So talking about support, one amazing person that we all know and we are all saddened by his passing is Kobe Bryant. And I know he supported women's basketball specifically in just an amazing way. So my question to you is, do you feel like his passing will ignite more support for women's sports, especially from men? You know, do you think that because he passed, somebody will take the torch and run with it and just honestly start supporting women's sports also?
You know, I can't say that they will, but I really hope that they do. Because one thing that's really sticking out between men and women's sports is that if you look at the men's side for pro, they have so many options. I mean, it doesn't stop at the NBA and overseas. I mean, they have tons of options, you know? And when you look at the women's side, we just have two. And if you really think about it, it's only about 12 WNBA teams.
Yes.
36 get drafted. So it's just like a lot of girls who's prepared all their life to live out this dream. You know, we have to take another path, which is totally fine. But as a male athlete, there are a lot of them that are making some money just by being on the bench. And if they're not playing in the NBA, they're playing in the G League. And if they're not playing in the G League, they're playing in the Ts. And if they're not playing in the, you know, they have the TBT tournament, for example. And they have the 3x3 tournament. So, you know, and then they have the big as well, too. So, like, you look at all these options that they have, and then you look at us. We just have, and then we just have 36 girls that get to go. And then everyone goes overseas. And sometimes majority females may not even get to go overseas. You know, as males, I think they need to start speaking up a little bit more and really being supportive of our side, because it's easier being on their side, looking at our side and saying, oh, you know, I really support this, but what are you going to do about it, you know? So I really think and hope and pray that someone at some point will really start understanding that we truly love this sport and that we love everything that comes with it, and we want more of what they have as well. Not saying we're equal. Well, actually, we do want to be equal, but what is we want more opportunities. We want more, you know, success in everything that we do. We want girls to start feeling like, you know, there is a chance to get to the WNBA, not, oh, well, I already know I'm not going to make it because it's just that, you know, because a lot of girls have started already at a young age. In high school, I've already started realizing that. Okay, I can't think of WNBA right now because we don't have that many options like the men do. So I want that to be able to be taken away, like, okay, WNBA stamped. Let's do that. Not, I know how it's going to go. If you're not the first 12, then you don't matter. So,
which is very realistic at this point in a lot of female basketball players' lives. But I love how you just spoke up, and I feel like, especially all the men who follow both of these pages, I feel like, you know, speak up, like, support. We're more than just pretty faces. Basketball, like you said. So here, I think, is the most important question thus far. What does being a beautiful baller mean to you?
I think being a beautiful baller to me is being able to be someone that can play with this sport, but be able to use it in a platform. It's not being able to say, okay, well, hey, you know, I play basketball. I have this accolade. I have this accomplishment. I have done this. All right, that's great. No one's taking that from you. But more about how can you spread positivity to someone else in this platform? How can you give the youth sorry, I don't know what was going on. How can you give someone some advice within the youth? How can you really show someone? How can you lead someone? How can you be supportive? With the platform that people have, using that matters. And I think that's what a beautiful baller is, being able to be someone that can touch the person around you, touch the group around you, the community, being able to touch other people, not just by driving down the street, but can you touch somebody that's on the other side of the coast? Can you touch somebody that's way top? Can you touch someone that's in a whole other country? Not simply by, giving the money, but can you really help people and really be someone that's going to, understand someone and really try to work with them on whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. It's no longer about you. It's really the person that you're helping.
Yeah. I think that was beautiful. And you talked about impacting people. So you have over 100,000 followers on Instagram, which is amazing. That's just beautiful. You're a beautiful person. So obviously they'll follow you. How has having such a large platform impacted your life?
Honestly, it's still crazy to even know that over that amount of people want to follow me and even believe in me, myself, and support me. Because I started my social media when I was about high school.
Yeah.
And, I played basketball through high school. So, you gain a lot of friends, a lot of people that want to support the same way that you support other people.
Yeah.
And college, the same thing. And then I transferred to UNCW, it kind of really went more and more. And I think what a lot of people realize is like, okay, she has all these followers. She's probably the typical Instagram model that's like stuff up, that's this, that's that.
Yeah.
From that, because I'm really, and I want people to understand that, I do try my best to respond to DMs. I might not respond to everyone, but I do try my best. I try to read them. And I really want people to know that it's so much more than to looking at a female that has this amount of fan base or supporting, and that I'm not just someone that's going to be like, okay, well, I think I'm this, I'm high horse. I'm probably only talking to people that's verified or this and that. It's a lot of superstitions that come with having a Instagram or a social media platform that has so many people on there, or however it goes. And it's more to me than the likes, and it's more to me than being somebody that says, okay, well, I have 154K, like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of person. So there's a lot of ways that I try to connect with people that contact me, and I try to do the best that I can.
That's beautiful. So do you plan on using your platform in order to impact your community in any positive way thus far?
Yes, I do have some things set in stone.
Nice.
I'm going to start a YouTube soon, and
Nice.
hoping that everyone tunes in.
Definitely. Everybody tune in.
Please. But I definitely am going to start YouTube soon.
Nice.
I'm a very open person, and I'm trying to not say start a movement, but I do want people to know that it is okay to be open, and it is okay to be that way if you're on social media. I think a lot of people reach backlash when it comes to mental health, and just really being open about who you are as a person, things that you've been through, things that you are going through.
Wow.
And I know some people feel like it's easier to just deal with it, out of just privately, but you never know. You speaking up and saying something on a platform can really help the person next to you. And you never know what you say on social media is someone that really can just tip them right over. And I think that this platform has its negatives and it has its positives, but those who are strong enough and brave enough to speak up and speak out on a platform, I will always give them the higher doubt. I don't care if you have 3 followers or 2, or however you have. If you speak up and speak out, to me, that is the most bravest and courageous thing to do, because you doing that makes somebody else be like, okay, I'm feeling confident today. I'm feeling like I can do this too. I'm feeling like I can be more open about things that I'm going through, things that I'm feeling. Maybe I can touch someone else that's going through this, so they know that they're not alone, and that it's okay to express yourself on social media.
Definitely. I feel like that's very important, and I'm glad you touched on that. So, what's your favorite Instagram page to follow and why?
I like to follow the Shade Room.
Ooh, okay. So just keeping up with like the celebrity drama or what?
Well, not even really the drama. I just like looking at the comments.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Sometimes like, okay, jokey joke, but then, you know, as I start to look in some of the comments, sometimes I'm like, dang, everyone wakes up and always have so much like negative to say. So I always try practicing like, okay, sometimes I can be very negative to say some negative things, but I have been definitely trying to realize like, okay, life is way better when you're living in the positives, not the negatives. So, you know, it's crazy to just wake up and be straight negative to someone already, instead of waking up and saying, okay, hey, you know, let me be positive today. I never know, my positive comment can be the highlight of someone's day. It can be the highlight of someone's week, their month, however it is. Someone could truly be going through it, and you say one thing that's so positive to them, and it just uplifts them. And I really want people to understand that that's really important, because sometimes social media can be too much for people. It can be a lot. And I think it's way better when you have people that are trying to be positive and stay positive.
Definitely. I love that. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? I know that's a hard answer, and it took me a little while to develop, but where do you see yourself right now in 5 years?
Girl, first of all, married with
Okay. Good. Nice.
myself having a family. I'm a family woman.
Nice.
And it's like huge for me. So definitely doing that. I do see myself having my own business as well.
Awesome.
Figured out what it would even deal with, but to be able to have my own business, and I do know that I wanted to touch lives. So in 5 years, I kind of see myself doing that and being able to bring up, you know, my kids, and teach them, you know, the ways to go about things, and to love and to be very supportive and understand. So I definitely see myself somewhere within those 5 years doing dream of.
I love it. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk about something that I haven't really talked about thus far. So you're like the first person that I'm talking about it with.
Okay.
In relationships, because as we all know, you know, playing basketball, playing a sport in general, it honestly takes so much of your time. But as females, you know, relationships are a big deal, and our love lives take precedence in a lot of ways. So before I go any further, are you currently single?
Yes, I am.
Nice. And have you ever had a relationship while in season?
I have. Yes.
You have?
I have.
How have you been able to juggle that? Did you feel like you know, it was hard working on your craft while also giving your partner like attention? Like, how was that?
I think with me, I have no issues having a relationship during basketball, because to me, in my opinion, it's more like, you know, I'm playing this sport, and then when I come home, I have someone to talk to that also sport with me. But I think it's typically harder for most people. I learned that with my sport, I'm gonna have to deal with long distance.
Yeah.
What it brings, and that's what people give me, and I know that's something I had to deal with. There's definitely been a lot of hardships, because obviously I'm single. So
yeah, likewise. I mean,
but you know, I think relationships ultimately help when you're playing a sport.
Ooh. Okay, so what's the best relationship advice that anyone has ever given you thus far?
I think the best relationship advice that I've been told has been learning to accept what is and what isn't. That's been one of the biggest advice that I can take, because I'm a very emotional person.
Yes.
And when I say emotional, I'm like, oh my gosh, not crying, but more like I'm very in tune with my feelings. And, you know, I feel that that's really hard for some people to understand about me. I'm very in tune with that. I truly care about how you're feeling, how you're doing, do you need something, however it is. But when I was told that I have to accept for what things are, let things be and let them come and let them go as they please, I really learned that that truly matters, because it doesn't matter how hard I can be trying to work something out. If that other person isn't wanting that to work out with me, then I have to let that be, and I have to accept that. And I learned that acceptance is a very hard thing for people, but I've learned how to grasp acceptance, and I've learned that, you know, sometimes it may not be this timing, or maybe it's not that person, and I got to really recognize that and accept that. So that was definitely huge for me.
So what's your sign?
I am a Gemini.
Ooh, Okay, so you have like the two sides.
No,
Is your other side like detached? Would you say like less emotional, or like it's like both sides?
I
Or
don't
like
think well, you know what? I ain't gonna say I have two sides. I do, because you can have my good side and my bad side.
yes.
And you don't have my bad side, because it's truly hard to get back to the good side. So
Okay.
I say that's my two sides as a like, as far as how you react,
Mm.
you know, the things that you do. So I think
Nice.
that.
Nice, because I'm a Libra, so you know we're the scale. I'm trying to keep balance, but I don't know. You know, I definitely need to work on myself because I get really crazy really fast, and that
Right.
balance just
You
tips over. But
my sign has always said that I match perfectly with a Libra, and I have never dated a Libra.
I don't know many Libra men. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't.
I really don't have any Libra men friends because otherwise I would, you know what I'm saying, put you on. But I literally don't even know.
You know,
But
a Libra, and I've never been involved with a Libra a day in my life. So.
yeah, well now you are. Okay, so and I definitely feel the compatibility. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh wait.
we're definitely clicking. So, what would you say your type is? Do you tend to date athletes? And if so, like what sport, if you have like a preference?
You know what? You know, I always get that question from men that DM me. They be like, "So, what's your type? Do you have,
Yeah.
you know?" And honestly, I like people. So,
Ooh,
if I like you as a person,
yeah.
that's enough for me to want to inquire about you.
Yeah.
And that's just how I am. So if I like how you are and how you go about things and how you interact and with me and the people around you, that's what attracts me, you know. And
Yes.
as far as sports, now don't get me wrong, I don't like people that don't play sports, but I'm open to it. I will
Oh,
say I'm very,
okay.
because I tried a couple times, it did not work. It was awful. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with these athletes. But
Yeah.
I'm a very open and working person, but as far as sports, my type, I love football. I
Oh.
love football, but football players do not like me. I don't know why, girl.
No, I can't imagine it.
I promise you, it's been like that my entire life. So at this point, I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'll be okay with a basketball player.
The basketball players, yeah. And I feel like they're so different, football players and basketball players, but like very,
Very.
very different. So, what's a relationship deal breaker to you? Like, if this happens, we're done. You know what I'm saying?
Um, you know, I'm not gonna say cheating, because I don't consider that a deal breaker the first time. I
Yeah.
know people are gonna call me crazy and everything, but
I'm not gonna call you crazy.
okay, because I really learned that sometimes some people do make mistakes. You know what I mean? I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
mistakenly let it happen, but you know, there's pressure and there's temptations, and I just feel like sometimes things do happen like that, and people can improve. But I feel like for me, a deal breaker is being with someone that gives no effort. That's really huge to me. If you cannot
Mm-hmm.
effort, I just can't. I can't figure out what it is for me to want from you, because with no effort, there's nothing. The relationship has nothing. It can't be one side giving effort and then the other side just like, all right, you're doing all the effort for me. It'll work. So that's definitely a huge deal breaker for me.
That makes so much sense. So, are you currently open to looking for a relationship? Or are you like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm focused, it's quarantine, I'm just like focused on me?
No, I'm open. I'm open. A little bit of both, but I'm open though. Like if someone really can show me and really understand like what I'm looking for, what I want, then yes, I'm very open to that.
Nice. So, we allowed our amazing viewers to open up and ask some questions for you. So, I compiled the questions that I thought were best. So, I'm
Uh-huh.
going to shoot them your way. So, the
Okay.
first person asked, what do you feel was the high point of your season?
I think the high point of my season was my first game back from sitting out.
Nice.
Um, it's crazy to sit out for 1 year and be on the bench and watch your team play, and then when they go away, you're
Yeah.
not with them and you're watching over the computer and you're like, God, I want to suit up, I want to be out there, I want to do whatever I can for my team. So for when I back my first game, it was kind of crazy because I was really nervous. I'm like, okay, do I still play this sport? Do I know what I'm doing? Am I
Yeah.
even still So I think that was definitely the high point of my game, because for a minute there, I definitely was like, all right, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this like I used to be able to do it.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. So the next person wants to know, what do you think you've improved on the most this past season?
This year, I improved on patience. A lot
Ooh.
of patience. I've always been patient, but I mean, this was way more patient, and
Hmm.
that came with on and off the court. Now, off the court, my couple of years in college, I was not patient at all.
Hmm.
Sport slowly started to teach me patience and how to acquire it and how to go about it. So once I gained that, it makes me like in a more calm state now. Like, okay, I have patience instead of me just quickly reacting and being like, okay, dang, why did I do that? Like, now I really have patience in all the decisions that I make.
Awesome. So what moment during the season were you most proud of and why?
The most that I was proud of, honestly, was, I believe it was this year. It was maybe our third or fourth, maybe third game.
Okay.
Mate's Micah. She had a phenomenal game because
Nice.
she's a really good player. And I'm always hard. I'm hard on all of my teammates. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't be the one, like, I'll, be like, let's go, but I'm really hard because it
Yeah.
someone on the team to do that. And I've always like try to help her and tell her little things and this and that. And I mean, she came out that year like just ready, and I was so proud of her because she's a phenomenal player and she's gonna have an amazing last 2 years of college, and I can't wait to see her.
That's amazing that you just mentioned somebody else's success as, something you're so proud of. I think that just speaks a lot to your character. So that's beautiful. Shout out to her because I'm sure
Yeah.
she's
Uh,
watching. So another fan asked, and I mean, this is the question that I want to know too. How do you get your hair laid during games?
I just told her earlier today, but so I wear wigs, and if I'm not wearing wigs, I wear closures, and I use
Okay.
hands on the wigs and the closures. I actually had a stylist down there at school, and she's definitely amazing. And I mean, I changed my hair so much
Yeah.
last season, like a lot. I mean, like 1 week I would have pink, the next, I would have blue. Sometimes I would have black or brown or honey blonde.
Nice.
I used to change my hair a lot, but because of her, it was really easy because
Mm.
bands on my wig, so it's easy to like, get it sewed down and get it, fit so it's laid for me to play in the game. So I'm not going up if my wig is like blowing off or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
definitely how I always kept my hair laid.
Nice. That's the secret. You got to have a stylist at your school.
Got to.
Got to. Okay. Nice. So another fan wants to know, have you ever experienced a man taunting you or just belittling your skills because you're a woman, and how did you deal with that?
She's actually in the live right now. I think I know who that is. Pro.
Okay.
So y'all definitely have to show her some love. She's always been supportive of me. But yes, a lot of men do taunt me, but just female players in general, because I think the most degrading thing that a man has ever said to me was, "You really play basketball?" And it's almost like, why? I can't be a girl that likes to be divine within her body with the way that I like to project myself sometimes, that I play basketball. I do play
Yeah.
the sport. That's what I am. Sometimes guys feel like, oh, you have broad shoulders. Your arms are really big to be a girl. Well,
Mm.
but hey, that's just how it's created. And I have no problem with that because at the end of the day, these shoulders got me a D1 scholarship. These arms got me a D1 scholarship.
Definitely.
But I've learned that instead of replying to their ignorance and giving them attention, you just don't say nothing, because at the end of the day, what good does it do stepping down to their level?
Mm.
Like, and then trying to get back to the level you're at, because now you're at that level that they're on. So I'm,
Definitely.
hey, you know what? There's no need for me to say something because I still have a friend that believes in me. I still have my family that believes in me.
Exactly.
So,
And oftentimes, just to piggyback off of that, when guys or just anyone belittles somebody else's skills, they
yeah.
probably don't even know that person at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And they're just, projecting feelings that they have about their self, ultimately. So you said beautifully. The next person wants to know, if you could give advice to your young self based on the experiences that you've had thus far, what advice would you give?
I think the experience that I would give my younger self is to know that it's okay to not be friends with everyone.
Mm.
I just learned that my senior year. I wanted to feel like I should be friends with everyone on my team. And I learned that sometimes you can't be friends with everyone, but you
Yeah.
still have a common goal of getting the job done.
Mm.
I learned that, it's okay to not be close with this girl as much as I'm close with that one, but to understand that you guys have the similar goal. We want to win. We want to be a team and win. So if you understand that and carry that on with you through college or through life, however you want to do it, that really taught me that in life, that it's okay that I'm not friends with this person next to me, but we have a common goal and we're going to work together and try to do it as much as we can.
I love that. I think that's very important, especially with females. As you know, we're all emotional. And I don't know if men have that problem, but you want to be girlfriends with everybody. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think you said that amazingly. So as we come to the end of this amazing interview that I'm so happy that we had, my last question is, what do you have planned next?
So I definitely have something planned. I might be a radio show host.
Ooh, that's exciting. That's super exciting.
Yes, that's definitely something that's coming up next. And possibly a clothing line.
Nice.
So I definitely hope you guys stay tuned in because I think people are going to love it because it's definitely about uplifting not just men and women, but everyone around together.
Wow.
And I want it to be globally united.
I love that. I love that. So everybody, make sure you guys all follow GiGi. Click her name right there. Go click that follow button. And we're all going to stay tuned for that clothing line because I'm going to definitely cop something. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. So is there anything else that you'd like us to know about you?
Well, guys, my birthday is May 30th.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Send me your best wishes, please.
Definitely. Definitely. So, GiGi, we've came to the end of this interview, and I'm so happy that you took the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. We learned so much about you and got so much amazing insight into your life, and I'm sure everyone's inspired because I definitely am. So thank you once again for coming on.
Me.
No problem. So have an amazing rest of your social distancing time and continue your work and just being amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, girl. You too. You are killing this show.
Aw, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. So everybody, we have came to the end of this interview and that was just amazing. Like so many of you guys in the comments are saying, she's an amazing person. As you guys can see, like her heart is just so pure. So thank you guys all for tuning in to Beyond Ballin with LaLa. Make sure you follow my Instagram right there. It's pinned. Also, I want to say that today's episode is sponsored by the Horseplay app. It's a new social distancing app that allows you to play the game Horse with your friends around the world. And Beautiful Ballers is doing a giveaway. So all you have to do is go to thehorseplayapp.com, sign up with your email, and then comment done on our most recent post. And then you are entered a chance to win Beautiful Ballers t-shirt. So make sure the Horseplay app is right there. Thank you so much for sponsoring this interview. And everyone, continue to be safe and just stay positive and uplifted. And next week, we are going to be having Erica Fontaine. She's a gymnast, and we're so excited to have her on the show. So bye, everybody.